I was a kid and we were making it out of beef. Because they kill a hog and they kill a beef, and there were very few deer around here. Now, all the jerky I make is out of deer.
Right.
I started doing this when we were a kid, and they were using a lot of salt, way more than nowadays, because they were very concerned about preserving things. When did you start making jerky?
Once I moved here and basically have focused on deer jerky.
Deer jerky, okay. Now, are you filming now?
We're filming right now, Stan.
Okay, well, there's nothing hard about that except that you want to try to get as much of it as possible, right?
I do not have as large a knife.
Well, I'd rather have a thinner one, but I don't have one here.
Yeah, but that's basically it.
And then, the thing of it is, once you get the backstrap cut, the big thing is to, you gotta somehow or another get it to where the gristle's gone. Or it's like, is that about the right length?
Yeah.
You know, and you wanna, now some of that's gonna be hamburger. But then you'd go, how long should jerky be? It shouldn't be too long. About here. That'll make good jerky, won't it?
That will.
There. And same thing here. Now, if you'll hold, I usually just try to cut about, what do you think about that thickness?
That's good, fine.
Somewhere like that.
Yep.
And get as many pieces like that out of there as you can. What are those, about 5, what is that, 6 inches?
About 6.
Maybe more. But you can see this is a young, not a young doe. It already had produced, but it was a tender one that was nice. Boy, that should make wonderful backstrap, unless we ruin it with salt, pepper, or something. I don't know, what do you do with one like that? Just use it?
Use it.
Leave it like that. And you just do that over and over. Usually I just same old. The other thing is that by using curing salt on the second method we want to talk about of making jerky. That's big, isn't it? Yeah, maybe not.
They'll do fine.
By the second method of making jerky, we use curing salt. The bad thing about using regular salt is that you don't get this pretty red. You don't get this pretty red look that you have with curing salt, because it's got the nitrates. This stuff's got the nitrate in it. But I'd rather use kosher salt, because I can tell easier how much salt I've got on it. What do you use, Tony? What have you been using?
We use the nitrate salt.
Use this one.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that's better. That'll keep your jerky more red, right? Keep it. Well, that's what they use nitrate for at the grocery store, is to keep the beef red and preserve it too, I guess. Anyway, using curing salt.
Using curing salt, uh-huh.
Well, that's a good idea, I think. You ready to go?
Ready to go.
I don't know how. You want enough salt to help make it tasty and also to help preserve it. Tony, when you do this, do you turn it over and do it on both sides?
Both sides.
One, both, yeah. Pepper, meaning it was about halves.
Oh yeah, too thick.
And I don't like that, because you when you bite on it, you get that old
Solid pepper taste.
You get that real too much pepper. So I took a knife to scrape off these peppercorns, half corns. So after that, I made sure that I got this kind of pepper where it's coarse, but it's not. How do you say it? It's not bitter. And then we just turn it over and do it again. I guess that's all there is to it. Yeah, there's nothing to this. You turn it over, everybody can do that. In North Carolina, he makes a batch of teriyaki, then he makes a batch of, sweet sour, then he makes a batch of Italian, and then some of it turns good, some of it is not good. I don't know how to say it. Bad?
Too much experimentation.
You just prefer different tastes.
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes you get just too much of something too. But this is,
Pretty basic.
yeah, this is just basic, good old black pepper and salt jerky. Wonder how that's gonna taste. Bad to ruin really good deer meat, wouldn't it?
You'll find someone that likes it.
This is hot wing sauce here, I think. Yangling, isn't that the name of a beer in Pennsylvania or something?
Ling Ling?
Yangling, isn't that what that is?
I think it's Ling Ling.
Huh.
Is this your variety platter?
Yep. It's his experimentation.
That's it.
That's where he's doing everything that the guy in North Carolina does.
That's it.
Well, I don't like some of the stuff he does, but now the other thing is, if we're gonna go down to the deal, then I take it.
Show him the needle.
And this needle is a cotton sack needle, means big eye and so forth. It's been around at least 80 years. I don't have any idea where you buy one. I don't
Dooley's.
have any idea. Dooley's has
Dooley's has them.
Oh no, Dooley's have a variety store in Fredericksburg, Texas. Has cotton sack needles. What else would they be used for other than stuff like this, right? But anyway, do you hang your jerky on a string like this, Tony, or you do it,
We string it.
yeah, you string it. You don't just do one at a time.
No.
The old way, for the bigger pieces, which we're gonna talk about in a second, the old way was to take each big piece like this and tie it individually. And then the other thing about the old way was, on the big stuff, which I haven't been doing lately, is they would take that and they would put it in boiling water after this process, before they dry it. And they put it in boiling water, and then they'd dip it in boiling water for 1 minute, and then they'd pepper it, and then they'd hang it. You can imagine?
Yep. I haven't seen that.
That was what I did for some years, and I don't know, Kenneth's method finally seemed better to me. Let's just take this out there and take this out and show it, or you want to do two of these?
You want to show up what you got?
Yeah.
Anyways, it'll be strung up and then we'll put it outside, okay?
Okay. Good thing the sun came out to cooperate with us.
Now, I keep bird seed out here, obviously, and other things. And also, I'm not planned right here for, it's not long enough string for all of that. But it doesn't matter as long as you keep it apart. Take it apart, string it up like that.
How much space do you need between them?
Just so they don't touch. Just so they don't touch. Of course, you can do this type of stuff if you don't have a box or something to put it in. You can do this kind of stuff on barbecues too, but that's a little bit more difficult to keep it from burning or from getting too dry. But I like bark. Some people may smoke with doing the next batch. Okay?
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and just fire this up and let it. We definitely want the stuff burned down to where it starts coals, and we don't want any of this petroleum stuff smelling on it, right?
Yeah. Still connected to the smokehouse.
Oh, so you have a, okay. Let that burn, we'll have to come back out, and it's not ready to our 10 lock, and so I can lift it like that, and then I have this. When I built this, I put I don't know what kind of metal that is.
Sheet metal.
Sheet metal
Yeah,
of some
just tin.
kind. I just rolled it out, knocked it in, and we just put that on. You see, and it'll
Smoke.
smoke. It won't burn, or it'll burn a little bit. But then in a minute, this thing will be full. Was cooked in a convection oven after being smoked, and it's basically for cutting into little pieces and then putting it like on sandwiches is what they did in the old timers. Cornmeal or something, or how'd they make their jerky that they used on the trial? You said yes?
Yes.
Okay. Usually you pick a spot like right here, and you go in there right up against the bone. It's hardly a knife, but that's just the way it is. Knives can be sharp. And you go down, and this is going to be the best part here. And you cut it on up, and you lay that aside. And you do the same with this. And you might actually be able to pull, well, that knife needs help already. Might be actually able to pull a piece of meat off of there, but maybe not, depends. The other thing is there's always some good soft meat right here. And I don't know, Tony, how do you have any particular way to get that?
Just the way you're doing it now, cut along the bone.
And then it also cuts away where
Then
it
you cut the white
divides
layer,
itself. And you throw that aside, and then you cut along the bone here, or really along the gristle, if nothing else, because you don't want all that gristle. But anyway, so those are the pieces to work with. This is, put it back in the deal because it's trim. You know what I mean? It's,
The trim you'll cube and use for
you
hamburger.
trim and use it for hamburger and stuff.
Ground meat.
Now, when you start cutting this up,
Let's stop.
as you go down here, if you'll watch it, you can trim, and this is really getting to be done. But you go down here and you get to where you can trim up, and you'll see that it has its sort of natural places where it divides.
At the white layer, yeah.
See, like that. And then here's going to be another one, like in here. There's going to be another one in there, and then there's going to be another one out here. Well, what it amounts to is, by the time you take all that fat off, that whole piece there might take you 30 minutes minimum. But you take all that fat off, and let me put that aside, and trim it up, and it's going to look something like this. There'll be little different size pieces from time to time, but there's also going to be nice big long ones that come out of this. But at least this is what I do. Tony, tell me
Same
what
thing.
you do.
Same thing.
Huh? Same thing?
Yep.
And they're not going to come out even because they just don't work.
Well, you're trying to take the largest cuts.
Yeah, and you try to get rid of a lot of this stuff because that's chewy.
Mm-hmm.
Now that one I probably won't want to leave in. But then the largest cuts, they got to be cut again. There's another one, pretty good one. And then this one, see, it has some
White layer.
white, which it's okay. It's just not. And
Well,
then,
if you smoke it and it gets to be too tough, you just have to cut it into smaller pieces
yeah,
to enjoy.
but then you gotta get these down. You think those are too long, Tony?
Nope.
And the way this meat is handled is completely different. Now this right here is 4 pounds. How about that? Should it be cut more?
Nope, that'll be fine.
Think it's all right? I believe I measured, and I think it's 4 pounds or 4 pounds and a few ounces right there. And what I do, and then since it's 4 pounds and it's, his recipe is 4 ounces to 10 pounds, it'd be 2 ounces to 5. We're talking about less than 2 ounces of salt. The meat, that's not quite enough, is it?
Well, it's a quarter cup.
You think it's a quarter?
Mm-hmm.
Half, you think
Close
it's
enough.
Is that half and half? I go ahead and pepper it, even now. Do you, or you do always let it sit?
Once they're all spread out, I pepper.
Okay, but not
Like
yet.
you did the dry jerky.
Oh, you don't pepper them until after they've been in salt the 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Afterwards?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then all we do here is we put it in salt and then put it in the fridge. And then we'll season it. We'll season it after about 3 days. And then repeat the process on the smoking. Except when you string it, you might do it individually.
You string it
especially the
individually,
bigger
correct.
pieces.
Yeah, because you've got such a variety in sizes.
Yeah, it'd be better to string the bigger pieces.
Yeah.
Then, afterwards, it depends. Tony, what do you do to dry yours afterwards? I do 2 things. Is one, I put it in that oven for 7 to 8 days.
Okay.
Just hang it down with a string right here, let it dry natural. If the temperature gets above, let's see, 65, you gotta put on air conditioning.
Right.
And if you take your meat and you say, okay, it's almost done, and you put it in the freezer, it'll get pretty hard pretty fast.
Mm.